Morning, sir.
Good morning, Michael.
It's you and me thus far this morning, which is
Hey man,
not an issue.
Is it
how are
Al?
you?
Hey,
Oh,
I'm
wait,
good.
somebody else is here.
Yep, Chad.
Oh, hey, Chad.
Oh, hey,
Hey
Chad,
man,
what's up, bud?
Hey,
how's it
buddy.
going?
Good.
How about you guys?
Not too bad. I made it just in the nick of time. I had stopped and get fuel this morning, or I wasn't making it here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, just real quick. Um, so these are being recorded. Uh, this is just a housekeeping note, because I don't know whether there's confusion or whatnot, but they are posted in the school, in the
Yeah, I seen that.
classroom, in the classroom. So you'll find the video, you'll find the summary there. And I'm also, last Friday, I made the mistake. I didn't make the mistake. I inadvertently, when I uploaded the video, it ended up getting posted on YouTube, which was not intentional, but it
Oh, I
got,
didn't see it in the classroom. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, but it unintentionally got posted on YouTube as a public and it got some views. And it's like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do this and run with it. So these are now being posted also on YouTube. Now, it's coming after the YouTube people that watch it. They can't ask the questions, but
Yeah.
there is a link in the in the descriptions that'll bring them to the class or to the school where they could sign up and possibly join us in these Thursday morning live calls. So
So that'll be
yeah,
public for them. It'll be public on YouTube.
yeah, but they, like I said, they don't have the ability to ask questions.
Okay.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a shameless plug. Jump on the school, find us there. There's a link in the description, and join us on Thursday mornings. So, first question I have this morning, Matt, did that hammer missions work out for you?
It got canceled.
Oh,
Universal, actually KHS&S, the contractor I used to work for. Actually, they're really slow right now. So to have four guys not doing work for hmm, for me doing all the work, they yeah, they wanted to keep their guys busy right now, so they did give me the opportunity to revisit another project later down the road, so
so
it's
my
not a
my su-
total
my
deal.
suggestion there, Matt, though, I would go back and fly that site anyway.
It's on universal property. I can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
wanted to as well, but I
Okay.
yeah, it's I have to
Yeah, be
have
careful
special
about
permission. Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a thought because that way you'd have the data to present to them when this came all back
Yeah,
around.
I wanted to have actually just the even the sample, but I didn't want to blow my opportunities with the free trial with Hammer Missions on something that I can't even use with them right now.
Right. That makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes
yeah.
sense.
Which it
Uh,
was a good. It's probably a good thing that that happened because a lot of other opportunities came arose in the meantime. So
well, good for you, man. Good for you. Glad to hear that.
I
What about you,
appreciate though
Chad?
what you sent to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What about you, Chad? What you got going on?
Well, I am trying to get some messaging figured out for LinkedIn.
Okay.
I do have a message created. I met with Root actually a few weeks ago. Root Patel.
Hmm.
You know
Good
Root.
person. Yeah, good person to know.
Yeah. Yeah, I met him a few weeks before the hurricane came through here and just kind of sat down and said, I mean, at this point, I'm trying to figure out my path on business. What am I
Morning.
doing wrong? What's my messaging wrong? What should I be focusing on, not focusing on?
Yeah, he would be a good one to ask on that. Yeah. Morning, Peter.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, this is
Good
Yeah.
morning,
nice.
Peter.
So I have a message created for reaching out to LinkedIn users, and that's kind of my next path here is reaching out and basically finding out, how I can. At the end of the day, I want to build a product for construction users. That's what I
Right.
want to do. That's what I want to do, and that's basically what I want. My attempt is to get with the users, interview them, kind of figure out, hey, what is their all of their problems, and that product will solve all of their problems.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
need to
as we
figure out
all know, it's going to be orthos and
right.
contours and their DSM and DTMs, whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, we know what they want. They just don't know that they need it yet. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that I can tell you about LinkedIn that I picked up from I don't remember the gentleman's name, but so if and I'll use mine as a good example. Um, so in your right underneath your name, you got that little tagline that you could stick in there. Try to
You know,
keep that down in size so that the whole tagline is there. Okay. You don't need the 107 pilots, you don't need any insurance and all that. Just come up with a tagline that just basically says what you do. And keep it short. Because
okay.
if somebody's got to click on it to read the whole thing, the message kind of gets lost.
Mine, yeah, is probably
It-
long.
if you look at mine just says documenting your site from the ground up, inside and out. That has been my line for the last year, and it's actually I've had people reach out. We're talking, and after January 1st, we're going to start working together because I can't do it currently with my current schedule. So, but yeah, it's if you could, that was one of the big things that I took away in your banner, not in your banner, but on your profile. If you can keep that short so that it conveys exactly
Mhm.
what you do, um, it's perfect. So, and that's how
My
I came.
tag, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no,
Didn't mean
that's how I came up with my line because I mean that's basically what I do, from the ground up, inside and out. So, but
The
One thing
everybody's got
tagline
I
to.
I've been using is like, well, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's very long. I mean, I obviously sent you a LinkedIn request and whatnot. And that's actually a brand new profile that I created because obviously I'm still working full time. So I mean, I didn't want to jeopardize my job, I guess. I mean, I have well over 500 some IT connections on my LinkedIn. So this is a brand new profile, but the tag that I've been using pretty much everywhere is I use I use drones and AI to build data. I can't remember exactly what it is right offhand here, but
all that says
It's
enough.
got to
Right?
be
It's
too long, man.
yeah.
hey Chad,
Well,
one of
it's
the
also
other
on the school here. I put it on
I
as
remember
well.
seeing it.
hey Chad, the other thing is that I found that sometimes it's just by pure coincidence, right? But in my friends, acquaintances circle, I have two people that work for building companies or construction companies, and I've been really picking their brains,
Yeah.
and I've been showing them what we can do, and they're getting interested now, right? So one of the guys like, hey, I showed him a page that I put together for a local builder here, which I emailed to them and I haven't gotten any response, unfortunately. Probably my email went to junk. That's the problem with new email addresses, right? But it's like having the opportunity to talk to people, like I said, find the people is a big thing. There's one guy,
It is.
I do martial arts with him, and so I'm going to go on the road with him on Tuesday. Because I told him in the beginning, I said, I just need to learn what to do and what not to do in a building construction site, right? Why don't you teach me? Let me just shadow you. And he's also happens to be the president of the Maryland Building Association or Builders
Mhm.
Contract Association. So he told me, he said, you can come to one of my meetings. I can even give you a couple of minutes to speak, which of course is unique.
Wow. Yeah.
I became part of a local business association where I found a number of builders, a number of people. So it's about, like I said, kind of throwing out this wide net and see what you catch, right? And
Mhm.
um, but I think one of the biggest things is you have examples. There's some of the stuff you're showing your video that you showed earlier this week. I'm like, oh my god, I love it how you had the words come out, and then that would go into the next, task or thing you can do. Like, man, do you have some, put it out on social media, put it out in just in your regular friends group and let people like it, then more people see it and
Yeah,
more
I
people
do
see
have
it.
it. I do have it, but well, yes, I have it on all the social media platforms for Scale and Pixel.
So I'm going to jump in here real quick. So Peter, you're talking about the AEC, um, local AEC in your area. So I'm working with another guy. He's in Missouri right now, and he went to the AEC. He joined it. It was, I think it was like $300 for the full year as a subcontractor or associate member or something like that. But what he got out of that was a chance to speak, like you were saying, but he also got a list of all the contractors and subcontractors in
Yep.
the state, and he's been working through them, and it has generated some business for him. So that is a great way to get your foot in the doors. Yes, you're going to send out a buttload of emails that are going to end up in a spam folder or junk folder, but we got to get through the no's to get to the yeses. Once we get to the yeses, um, we got to figure out what their pain points are. I mean, we just got to get that meeting to get in front of them. And once we can demonstrate what we can do and how we can
Yep.
help solve their pain points, then it's an easier transition. And the one thing that and some of you have heard me say this, we need to get in front of the younger project managers and the younger superintendents, because the older people my age and above, I mean, I'm right there on that
Yep.
cusp of being a boomer, but I'm not, thank goodness. No offense to anybody that may be here. But the boomers, the one thing that I get from that generation is, well, this is the way I've always done it, so I'm not going to change. There is construction, especially here in the States, is so
Mhm.
slow to adopt new technology. And it's because of that attitude. Well, this is the way I've always done it. So that's
It
something that we're going
exactly
to,
is.
it is. And I mean, if you look at, I read a study, this has been years ago, well, not years ago, a couple years ago, about how far behind the United States is in the construction industry compared to Europe. I mean,
Well,
I
look at the
don't,
measuring systems.
well, we have
No, yeah.
we have stealth bombers, so we sent somebody to the moon with using that same archaic measurement system. So don't knock it too bad.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, no, for sure.
um,
Yeah.
so there's that. But no, it's like my last trip to Germany, I was fascinated with the doors and the windows in these houses. If you've never been, it is just it's so the windows, they open, they they tilt open so airflow can come in or exit out. They tilt open on the bottom, and they also open
Mhm.
to the side. It's like, it was the same with the doors. So there was a house when I was down in Constance, that it was called a 3-liter house, basically. And supposedly that's the amount of energy that it required to keep it temperature, to keep the environment stable throughout the year, because of the way that it was all set up, and the thought that went into the layout and how air moves through the building. It's like, why are we not doing this stuff in the States? Well, it's because this is the way we've always done it. So
Different
rest of it to
materials.
change. Yeah. So, but yeah, we just got to get over that hurdle.
I put my tagline in the
Yeah, I
chat.
saw that.
Yep.
Um,
Maybe that's too long. I don't know, but
Use drones to build data sets for you and make intelligent. So, okay, you know what I've been doing a lot? I would write something like, this is what I want to say, right? Then I grab my text, I go to Microsoft Copilot or Chat GTP, and I say, make it shorter or make it more professional. And you'd be surprised, like a half a second later, you got like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted to say. It just sounds a lot better, right?
that's
Or
what I
more
did.
concise.
But maybe it needs to be shorter. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just tell it, can you make this shorter? Put the text in and see what it comes up with.
it's kind of like the father in A River Runs Through It. Again, half as long. If you're familiar with the movie, he has his son write an essay, and then again half as long, and then again half as long, and then again half as long, and then ultimately he just threw it in the trash. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
just make it shorter. But
Yeah,
yeah,
one of the things, sorry.
go ahead, Peter.
And I think one of the things, and again, guys, I'm not saying this is the way to do it, because you both have done it longer, you both have done work you got paid for, and I'm not, right? But I'm really in this week, especially focusing on things like, okay, how do I get business? Because there's a part of me like, okay, I need to sign up with Fly Guys and with Drone Brothers, and I'll be honest, between the four of us, I kind of had a weird feeling with Drone Brothers. This guy, we saw him on the call, Andrew, and he's on our platform, and he's very much like, oh, you don't need anything special. And it's kind of like, dude, you are like 10% the size of Fly Guys. Fly Guys is telling us what we should be doing and how we get better paying jobs. So why would we not do what Fly Guy says, right? It feels kind of a little bit pushy, but yes, Michael.
I
One
seen,
of the things that I was going to bring up. So like on the Fly Guys site, I signed up and you got to list your equipment. But when he was on the call, both him and Andrew, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
they both said, make sure you list your AMLIDs on there as there is no place in any of those drop downs to add everything that I have. And there's no space to add additionals. Like if it's not listed, add it here. I've reached out to them, both companies, and I've not heard anything back. So,
That
but
is, I've been noticing is really bad in the sense that um, a lot of people say they don't respond, and I think it's one of the things. I was talking to Alan
don't.
earlier in the week, and he's like, Peter, they're they're not responding, right? And you're like, okay, that's stupid. Why are you guys not responding? But
Well, they probably got, 10,000 pilots reaching out to them.
oh yeah, no,
That's the
Fly Guy
reality.
says they have
I signed up a
10,000.
year and a half ago, and I've got nothing from them, and I've sent them emails, this and that, even call.
Yeah, I've called in the past
I get
just
all
to
my
ask
jobs
questions.
from ZetView, and ZetView sucks.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
it
what they say.
does.
But
So
I seen Rami's post. I guess Fly Guys are paying a whole lot better.
they are. So is Drone Brothers. And also is
Well,
Cody's
maybe.
site. What is Cody's site? Cody, right? Like he's got a
Droners
Drone
IO.
it there.
Drone Adair. That's
Adair,
it.
yeah.
But that pays better. But I've had no jobs come through, and I think a part of it is
Same
my
here.
proximity to Denver. I mean, I am 60 miles east of Denver, and there's not there's nothing out there but us
Well,
us farmers and cows. So
Michael, I've got nothing. I'm in Orlando.
well, it's funny you talk about ZiteView. I get jobs from them. They want me to
Yeah.
drive. They want me to drive 6 hours one way into Kansas. It's like, do you not have anybody closer? And I can't. I can't even afford to gas my truck to make that drive with what they're paying. I mean, I drive a 2022 2500 Ram with a 6.4 Hemi in it, and I get about 12 miles to a gallon. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not worth it for me to even respond.
But even with Drone it there, I mean, I get nothing out of Orlando.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Yeah.
there's construction galore. I mean, just like Denver.
yeah, it's the same with Denver, and Drone Brothers
Denver's
has
full of construction. I mean, I
they
lived
have
there for a while.
they have jobs that if you look at their site, they have jobs listed where they've done work in Denver, but they're
Okay.
not, and nothing's coming through. Which it's fine for me.
Yeah.
But I was looking at running numbers yesterday, not yesterday, a couple weeks ago, because quarterly taxes are a thing, and if I pick up, I really only need to pick up 2 to 3 clients. 3 would be perfect in addition to my current client list, and that's all I need. So, and so here's my process and I'll use LinkedIn on the example. Don't reach out to these people and say, hey, do you have this, blah, blah, blah. Just jump in their comments, just, post stuff in their comments, comment on their postings, start the whole, flirt with them as it were. And eventually, you do enough of that. And it's like, if you flirt enough with a girl, maybe she'll go out on a date with you. And that's all you're trying to do. You're trying to set up that first date. But
Yeah.
the one question that, in the comments on LinkedIn that I've been pushing out is like, hey, do y'all have a VDC department? And if they do, then I want to talk to them. If they don't, maybe I need to be looking at another company, like
What's a VDC?
virtual
Virtual
design and
Oh,
design.
yeah.
construction.
Okay,
Yeah.
virtual design. Okay, yeah.
Yep. And they
That makes
did
sense.
the BIM modeling that they do and all the interference modeling, that's all done in the VDC department. Like my current company, I am the VDC department, but we supposedly have a guy, but we don't have a guy. So, I mean, my stuff goes directly to the engineer, and then the engineer sends it out to the superintendent. So maybe the engineers are VDC, but I mean, we don't have anything on paper that is a VDC department. So, but those are the kind of people you want to be looking for is if you're looking on LinkedIn, is like, that's just a question to ask. If you've already established, you know, they've responded to your comments, you've talked a little bit in the comment section, just throw that out there, and then you can find out real quick whether this is somebody you should be asking about drones. So that's just a
Yeah.
little tip there for you.
So, and I don't know if this is gonna work at all. It's just based upon my past experience. Like, okay, if you try to sell something, you gotta tell a story, right? And the story is better with pictures and stuff. So there's a solar farm that I started to fly just to learn how to map, right? I made a little page that I'm gonna deliver to the superintendent today, tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna get the business, but I just want to get the experience of walking in, right? But the other home builder, I built actually a couple of pages for her. And I did something, oh, what's her name?
Molly,
Hey, Molly. I,
did you hear
you
your
know,
name? Huh?
yeah, I can share it on the screen feed just to give you an idea, right? Again, this
Oof.
is just from 25 years of selling and marketing. I'm like, this is what I feel I need to do. Let me see. Is there a share screen option? More? Let's see. There's got to be, right?
Should be. I
Oh,
mean, it's
there
not
it
the,
is. Duh, I'm
yeah.
missing the big green button. Let me just do this window. Okay, it's easier. Share. So what I did is I basically build a couple of pages on my website that are not linked in the top. So I've given a direct link to it. And I basically said, hey, I got to tell the story. I made a video that shows a couple of the progression videos that I made, and I mix them together over time. I saw that on your website, Michael. I really loved it how, as it's rotating, you see the next step, right? You see kind of the next week or the next evolution in it. In this one, you don't see as much of a difference. But the one that I did for, let's see, I got to go back here. Keystone, yeah. So what I did here is I discovered Loom. Somebody showed Loom to me. Oh, it was actually David Young from Drone Launch Academy. Replied to me to a message using Loom. I'd never heard of Loom, but it allows you to basically record videos as you're projecting them. So what I did is I made a video and I basically put my sales pitch in the video, right? So I've sent them this link and I said, hey, do me one favor, click on the video. It's going to take 2 minutes of your time. And if it's not what you want, just let me know, right? I hate the fact that they don't respond because then you don't know if they don't like it
Nobody
or they haven't
does for
seen it
me.
or they haven't had time for it, right? And then I just said, okay, I flew 2 of your houses that you're building. And then oh crap, look at that. I got to fix that page there. Sorry, I'll fix that later. I'm like, a leftover button from something. And then I just put it together, like the different dates that I have information for, and it just links, to the images I have. It's loading. Why is it not loading? Oh, there we go. Panoramic images that I created for them, to show, hey, I just try to get their interest so that they say, hey, yeah, you know what? Maybe we want to see that. And I'm trying to
Well,
figure out
I
why
would
my video,
say
why is
that
this not loading?
you could use this as an example to send to other people as well.
Yes.
I've
I got
heard
my
that,
template
I've
now.
understood that obviously the companies don't own the airspace,
Nope.
but they get a little funny that, hey, if you are basically trespassing, they get a little weird about that.
I know. But, let me have that discussion and you say, hey, we're really upset that you did this. I'm like, but I didn't trespass. The airspace is not owned by you.
It's a weird conversation to navigate,
I
but I
know,
mean,
I
it's
know. But
easy.
then they react to me. Then I have an opportunity to interact.
Yeah,
If I don't talk to them, I can't do anything, right? So,
yeah.
yeah, so basically, I have a trick on how I do this because I basically put this image up and keep the empty space, start a Loom, capture this part of my screen and then load that later as a video in, so it kind of merges together. But I'm like, okay, this is what I think I need to do to get their attention, because otherwise elevator pitches are incredibly difficult. I went to that association meeting last week. I wore my shirt, right? 3D Flight Maryland. They're like, what do you do? And you know what? It took me a couple times to get the story to that 10, 20 seconds where I'm like, this is what I do, right? I was talking way too long. I'm like, oh God. And I've done presentations my whole life. So I know it's a matter of doing it about 10, 15 times. And then I got the words right. I say the right thing. I just need to, I need to build it, right? I need to practice it. And that's the thing. It's uncomfortable, but you gotta just practice it. But I would say, like Michael said, if you see a building company, start looking it up on LinkedIn, start following in LinkedIn, from this company, I only had the name of from the superintendent, he gave me the name of the supply manager. I went on LinkedIn, I found that they had a surveyor that also has a Part 107. I copied the VP of sales and marketing on it, and I copied the supply manager's boss, right? So I put 4 people in this email just by going to LinkedIn and spending 5 minutes going to, because I had a link that says who works basically for this company, right? And then I was able to look at what they did. And like I said, I copied the drone pilot on there to make it. And I even said in this video, I said, I know you already have one Part 107, at least one Part 07 pilot, Daryl, or Derek, his name is. I said, but maybe he needs help, right? And I told him, I said, I did research. You got 49 projects ongoing. There's never a way. I'm sure they don't do what we can do. I've seen when they open up a building site, they fly a drone over it, right? They do show it a little bit. But I want them to see this because they can use it internally and externally so much. But everybody I showed this to is in construction. I'm like, Peter, this is amazing. I'm like, I know, I just need to get in the door somewhere. I just need my first one, right? Because I know
And
it built momentum.
That's what we all need. Yep.
yeah, and I talk about this. I've talked about this in interviews that I've had and done, and just people in general. I'm fortunate. I had a cheat code.
Yeah.
I work for the company that I fly for, which is awesome. I mean, it took me. I tilted windmills for a really long time to get here, but I mean, we already had a drone pilot with the company, but he would go out to the job site. He would fly a single orbit. He would shoot the building corners, and that was it. That's all he did. Because he's also our safety guy. He's got a full-time job doing that. And he's also our health and wellness. He's already wearing a bunch of hats. And I tried to take that from him, which I mostly have. But like I said, for me, I had the cheat code. But now that I'm established and doing this, I've got a little bit easier road to hoe than you do.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
but
And that's fine.
you need to get that one. That one will turn into more and so on and so forth, but you need to get that one.
And
So
I'm
don't give up.
seeing,
Just keep pushing. That's
yeah.
what I talk about.
Perseverance.
Yep.
And one of the things, Michael said, you need to get through a couple of no's to get to a yes. You know what the official sales rules are? You need
7 to 1.
9 no's
9.
before
Yep.
before it's a real no. Because you got to find out why it's a no, right?
Yeah. I
And
mean, no is just a starting point.
yes, a no is a my standard, and this is what I used to teach people all the time. When somebody starts pushing back, it's like, okay, help me understand. You say this, but help me understand that. And people are like, oh, you're not just trying to push something, you're actually trying to understand what I'm saying, why I'm saying. Because a lot of times you'll find out that they have a misunderstanding of what it is you do. Oh, yeah, that. But they don't say that. They jump right away to no in their minds, right? So, okay, help me understand. What do you mean? Do what I've heard from other customers or other people who have companies like you, they have these and these issues. Is that, oh yeah, we have them too. Well, how do you solve them? Oh, we don't, right? Or you have to, it's everybody hates hearing no. But like I said, it's demotivating. My years of sales, I would call my boss at the end of the week. I'm like, dude, I've been driving around for 4 days and I went to 20 different cancer centers. And I got 20 no's. He's like, great. Then you don't have to go to those sites anymore for the next, 6 months. And then you go back. I'm like, but I want to hear just one. Oh, maybe that's interesting, right? I need that little positive nugget every once in a while. And
Yeah.
when like last week, I talked to finally got to see the superintendent. He didn't throw me off right away. Nice young guy. I talked about what I could do. He's like, that sounds really interesting. Send it to this guy, right? Oh my God, I'm on cloud 9, right? Because I got a lead, I got a name, I got a number. And, you know, it's the little things you have to kind of hold on to get yourself through all of those no's. But
It is, and all like you said, it just takes one. It takes one, and now you're sitting on top of the world. It's like, okay, we got that one knocked out of the way. Let's get to work with this company. Let's put some stuff together. Let's make this happen. All right, this is all happening. Now I'm going to go after number 2 and number 3 and number 4 and just rinse and repeat. And the longer you do that, obviously, the better you're going to get at it. So, yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
yeah, it sucks, but it's just unfortunately what we just have to do. There is no way around it.
Right.
And I don't know why GoDaddy.com is giving me a problem, because that one button example that I saw, it's actually missing the image behind it of that MEP virtual tour that I made over the weekend.
GoDaddy
Why
might
is
be
it?
having some server issues or something.
Yeah, that could be. That could be.
So here's another just thing that I
Shit.
do to share. Um, if you have an idea, and so how does this start? So as a joke, there may have been some alcohol involved in this because we're all adults here. But I was just finished up flying for this day, and the super had taken me to lunch, and we're sitting around. It's a Saturday afternoon, eating, talking drones, whatnot. And me and the military came up, and Jeremy looked at me and says, "You need to start a company called 1-800 GI Drones." And I just kind of looked at him. It's like, hold on a minute. I picked up my phone, bought the domain. I have the domain. Have I done anything with it? No, it's redirecting to Wet Dog Drones. But that's one of those things that's like, hey, at some point I may do something with that. So that it kind of helps me stay on track with ideas. Oh, here's another one that I'm encountering right now. So I've got a section on the school where I'm posting videos that are worth the watch. So as you're finding these videos, you need to make a note of them. You need to keep a file folder or something,
Yep.
because I had a question come up yesterday on the other on the survey school, and it wasn't exactly about the video that I'm going to reference here, but it came up. So all of I paint all my GCPs red, and there's a reason because of that. Because if the photo is overexposed, underexposed, you're not going to see the fluorescent green, you're not going to see the fluorescent yellow, you're not going to see the fluorescent orange, you're not going to see the fluorescent pink, but you will see the red. But I got this from a video, and I probably watched that video 3 years ago, and well, at least 2 years ago. And I've been going down the rabbit hole trying to refine that video, and I can't find it anywhere. Because when I tell somebody something, and y'all know this, I think at this point, if I tell you something, I'm gonna give you the information where I got that information from, so that you can watch the same information that I watched, draw your own conclusions. Say yes, you're right, Michael. No, you're not. Either way, it's like that validation video that I posted about a tenth is all that you're going to get. I'm right in the middle of another video by the same guy on PPK versus RTK, and it's an hour and 20 minutes long, I think it is. I'll post that up later today in the class. But keep track of these videos when you find them, because you may need to go back and reference them again. So, but yeah, that's my words of wisdom for the day. Track your videos, write them down, create a file folder with links in it or something, so that if you need to go back and reference them, you can find them. It'll make your life easier. All
Yeah, I
right.
have a lot of new groups in my bookmark manager, for drone technology, drone tools, business
Yep.
tools,
Yep.
service providers. I had never heard of Dronadair that you just mentioned. I'd never heard of them before. So I just added that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cody
So
Redlick, he's
yeah,
partner
if you
with
go DLC,
DLC.
yeah, you
Oh,
get a
okay.
price break If I think it's the code is DLC 20, I think. But if you search DLC, you'll find it on there. And that's a lifetime price break. It brings it down from 300 to 250, I think it is per
But
year.
what, sorry, is he a drone service provider or?
He's an aggregator. He's like Drone Brothers. So he works directly with the companies, brings the companies to the table. Um, and he takes a very small percentage versus somebody like ZiteView or
Yeah.
whoever else is out there. So the money's much better coming from him than it is ZiteView. And I
Oh,
can't speak to, I think he's only taken 5% off the top, which I think is awesome.
I
So
was a little confused that I have to pay for that, but okay.
Yeah, he's out of Wisconsin.
yeah,
He actually did start as a service provider at Midwest Aerial Productions. But yeah, then through
yeah, and
whatever his time, he started Drone Adair.
yeah, because he saw that that all the other companies were a race to the bottom.
Yeah,
Droner.io and ZiteView and whatever these other companies are. So he tried to do something different. It's working for him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm not getting any work from him, and if I don't have any work by February, I'm probably not going to renew that. But
that's
that's
probably where I'm about at too.
yeah. So, all right, gentlemen, it is 6:33. I'm going to call this. I will have this up on the school tomorrow, as well as on YouTube with the summary and all that fun stuff. I am probably also going to be adding another call, probably Tuesday mornings, but I don't expect y'all to be there for that one. It's probably going to be around 2 a.m. because we're missing some people from the other side of the world. I'm trying to come up with time that works with them. So, but I'll keep everybody posted because it may be a Saturday morning thing or a Saturday afternoon thing or whatever it is. I'm just trying to get them the help they need also. So, but yeah, keep shins up. Don't take no for an answer. Keep grinding, man. As Epictetus says, the obstacle is the way. Got to get through that. So, all right, gentlemen, you have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
Michael.
Yeah, if you got any questions, just hit me up on the forum or the school page, and I'll try to answer them. If they can wait until next week, we can do them next week. But if it's a burning question that you need an answer to now, most of y'all have my phone numbers. Just give me a call, and yeah, we'll work through it.
Y'all have a
All
good
right,
day.
gentlemen. Yep,
All
y'all
right.
have a good
Thanks.
day.
You
Yep.
too.
Bye bye.
You too,
Bye.
guys.
Thanks for
Bye.
showing up, Chad.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right. Yep. Bye bye.
Bye.